Hi, I'm Cooper, and this is Crash Course All to History, and today we're going to talk about the religious views and ethical systems of Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, ancient India, ancient China, ancient Greece, ancient Rome, Islam, the Americas, the Indian Trade Network, and the Mongols. That's it. Let's start with Mesopotamia. Mesopotamian people were polytheistic, meaning they believed in multiple gods. Mesopotamian people were also known as Sumerians, and the Sumerian word for universe is An-Ki. An is the name of one of the gods, and Ki is the name of the other. The child of these two gods was Enlil, and he is believed to be the equivalent of the Greek god Zeus and Roman god Jupiter. The ethical system of Mesopotamia was Hammurabi's Code. In short, Hammurabi's Code was a very strict law system with many outrageous punishments, and most of them including death. If a man has struck his father, his hand shall be cut off. It's one of the laws written in Hammurabi's Code. The next place is ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt's civilizations also consisted of polytheistic beliefs. The most known deities of these times are Osiris, Anubis, and Horus. The way the Egyptian people drew these deities was related to the things they did. The ethical system of the Egyptians was much more like modern day than Hammurabi's Code was. It was based off the views of right and wrong. The laws were also based off of the Maat. The Maat represents truth, order, balance, and justice in the universe. These ideals basically stated that everyone, rich or poor, should be treated as equals in the event of a trial. If someone were to be found guilty, often their entire family would be punished. Now we'll move on to our next place, which is ancient India. The most common religions of that time were Hinduism and Buddhism. Hinduism consisted of Brahmins, which were like the priests, Kshatriyas, which were the warriors, Vaishyas, which were the farmers, and the Sudras, which were the working class. There was also a fifth called the Untouchables, which were people that just didn't fit anywhere, and those groups made up the caste system. Buddhism is based off the ideals of Buddha, and the object of the religion was to receive enlightenment. The law system in India was much like our current day judicial system, which included the use of judges in determining a ruling for a situation. In ancient China, religion and ethical system is kind of intertwined. Confucianism is a religion or ethical system that was created by Confucius. Confucianism is based off of mainly relationships, and the 5 cardinal relationships were ruler and subject, father and son, husband and wife, elder and younger brother, and friend to friend. It was also emphasized in Confucianism that family should come before oneself every time. Confucianism greatly impacts Chinese society today, and many of the current day principles are based off the ideals of Confucianism. Islam is a monotheistic religion that believes in the views of Allah, which were passed from Allah by Gabriel to Muhammad. Muhammad is a very important person in this religion and is the prophet of Islamic faith. Muhammad is also much like Jesus to Islamic faith, but Muhammad did not want to be worshipped, so there are no pictures of him, but instead only Allah is worshipped. The follower of Islamic faith is known as a Muslim, and it means one who has submitted. The ethical system of Islamic faith are the 5 pillars of faith. The first is believing in only one God. The second is praying 5 times a day. The third is giving to the poor. The fourth is fasting during the holy month of Ramadan. And the fifth is making a pilgrimage to Mecca at least once in a lifetime. The Americas, or otherwise known as the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas, were ancient Mexican civilizations, which you guessed it, were located in Mexico/Central America. The 3 civilizations were all similar in their religions, and all 3 ancient civilizations participated in sacrifices and even did human sacrifices. These sacrifices were done to please the gods of the ancient civilizations because the gods had sacrificed themselves to create the world. The ethical system in the ancient civilizations often consisted of kings and queens that ruled the group. The civilization also had very sophisticated militaries, and the civilizations also redistributed the resources amongst the people, which was very advanced for its time. The Indian Ocean Trade Network included religions such as Buddhism, Hinduism, and Islam. The trade network was basically just a bunch of trade routes between Africa, Europe, and Asia that allowed for the spread of these religions very easily. The network allowed for the transportation of goods from some areas of the world that were unobtainable to others. This also allowed for things that were religious to be spread very easily as well. The ethical system of the Indian Ocean Trade Network was basically the idea of sustainability, and how the trading caused the different parts of the world to stay productive and expand naturally. Ancient Rome, being a lot like Greek religion, was known as Roman religion. It was a blend of many different religions and it was also polytheistic. The equivalent of Zeus in Roman religion was Jupiter, and Jupiter was basically just copied and pasted into Roman religion. Roman ethical systems are pretty well known today. Caesar was a part of the Roman Senate, and then he left to form an army, which later led to the triumvirate between him and two others. He then returned to the Senate after being emperor for quite some time. By the time he came back, a bunch of the Senate was plotting to assassinate him, and they eventually succeeded in their plan to kill him. In ancient Greece, it was simply Greek religion or Hellenism. The religion was polytheistic and included 12 main gods. The religion also had mythology. Greek mythology was basically a bunch of tales about a variety of different things that were told as stories for entertainment. The ancient Greeks also believed that Mount Olympus was the home of the gods. The Greek ethical system consisted of trials. A famous lawsuit in ancient Greece was the trial of Socrates. This lawsuit was taken up in front of King Archon, and basically in the trials of Socrates, he was found guilty. And in ancient Greece, the jury would choose between two punishments: the defense's punishment that they chose and the prosecuting. Socrates, being the defense, chose a fine of 1 silver, not taking it seriously, and the prosecuting side chose death, which led to Socrates' death. The Mongols were very tolerant of all religions. The conquered people didn't have to change very much, though, because unlike many other groups wanting to conquer the world, such as Asia, the Mongols did not mind what their religion was. Genghis Khan, the Mongol leader, believed in Tengrianism, which was the mix of many different religions, including monotheistic and polytheistic religions. Genghis Khan is perhaps known as the greatest conqueror ever and had very brilliant fighting tactics and led to the expansion of the Mongol Empire. The Mongols did not have much of an ethical system. They killed as part of their work. The Mongols basically just abided by the code of ethics and left it at that. And we give special thanks to Abby Malika, Brooke Taylor, Jack Warden, Ethan Streitz, and of course Cooper Stadler.